With our first Dexter calf on the ground, it's time to start our milking routine. Now, since we just moved to the homestead, we're still working on all the things that need to be established, and the milking stanchion is on the list. So come along today while we build this milking stand so we can milk Meg. Hey friends, it's Barbara Sue at Kowalski Mountain, and welcome back to the homestead. Now you know it's been crazy since we moved to the homestead in September, and while my milking stanchion has been on the list for a while, we just hadn't gotten around to it. Well, with Apollo here at the farm, it's time to start milking Meg. So that's moved the milking stanchion to the top of the list. Now Philip's been working hard to make this milking stanchion, and it's solid. So let's check it out and see what he did. The first step before Philip gets started is to give the wood a good char. Charring wood is a method that's been used for centuries to help waterproof raw wood. Now, since most of the wood in this project is from our sawmill, charring will help keep that wood waterproof and make this stanchion last longer.
Kind of act like you're gonna, you don't have nothing to sit on. You're gonna have to tell me if you want the boards to be flush, or do you want them to be out that far where you got a little bit of a lip?
It's probably a little bit better for a little bit of a ledge for Meg's sake, but she doesn't.
She ain't going nowhere near that.
Okay.
I'm putting border pieces up here, so her ass can't even get that close.
My bucket. That's my bucket that I'm going to sit on.
Oh. Where her legs are, I'm going to put just like this up here, which is about belly, okay? So her legs aren't going to come anywhere near that outside edge. And I'm actually thinking about if you want me to put a border board there so she can't kick, you could actually put something on the outside if you want to.
Sometimes if Cal's not letting down, you bring your calf in and you let them nurse while you have her in the stand.
Yes. So would you want to keep her on this side? Him on that side rather?
Well, I don't know about that. Do you think you'll
He's just going to be stepping up and trying to reach. It is what it is. If he doesn't just come up the ramp.
So you don't think the extra space is needed for that?
With that note, I'll probably not put a sideboard down there, so he'll have access, but I'll put one here about belly height.
Low belly.
Yep, and so I kind of need to get a measurement too, from the ground up to about where the middle of her belly is, the widest part. That's what I want.
The widest part? Like the lowest part?
The widest part. Okay, so I'm like this. This is the widest part. That's the lowest part. Do you understand what I'm saying? I need the widest part so that it's up here. All you do is stand up next to her and say, okay, yeah, she's about right there. So measure yourself. It's not hard.
You wanted the cross.
No, I just want the height up.
Oh.
That's all I need. And I gave about a ½ inch wider on this end than on that end, and that's more just because the beams are not exactly.
I think it's better to be able to get in closer because she might lean away from me and you'd be able to reach her.
So
I just don't want her to be able to step on.
all right, then yeah, I don't want to be putting a ledge there. I almost went a little bit more narrow, and that's 36 inches. That is according to what a lot of them are saying that's good enough.
For Dexter's or full size?
Dexter's. So what I want to do over here is we need to do like a rubber mat.
Yes.
And then I'll just bellow up the edges a little bit. So when she craps, it just comes right back down this way.
I want a rubber mat over there.
On the ground? Yeah, on the ground. All you want. Yeah,
Just so I'm not in the mud.
Well, it shouldn't be any mud. Try to put a roof on you. And then I need to get a height reference. And so we can actually get underneath it, but that's about it. But about maybe 5-inch clearance. So we can get underneath it, and that'll be the roof. I'm not going to have the roof way up there for no reason.
As long as you're not worried about her stepping off, I think it's flush.
No, and I can technically put a little trim board right there. So she could bump that, and that's fine. She won't bump you. Although, I've seen so many people, they use a strap similar to that right there, and they just put it around her leg. She ain't kicking.
Put the strap under the belly.
You could do the feet. She can't kick away from her feet. Literally just put it around both feet. She can move them forward, backwards, but she can't move any further than what you just said it, period.
Well, I don't want to tie it.
So I'm gonna cut them right to the edge. I'm gonna burn that. I'll burn that real quick. Burn those real quick. Get me splash up. And then when I come off of here, I'll actually do a little ramp right here, and then I'll put 2 posts right here. Okay. I'm gonna have to put a gate so when she's up in there, she's in there. And then the head chute. So I'll put the head chute on the inside. On the inside of these posts. And that way I can mount on the outside an actual tray for feeding. And I'll
I washed that tray up.
Okay. So that's perfect. Actually what I'll do is I'll probably come out and then go across, and then that can be clipped right on, and then she can have, you know what I mean, the smaller side, it'll slope towards her. That actually will allow me to come forward. I really, you know what, thinking about it, probably need to get lengthwise too. Yeah, we almost need lengthwise. You can stand beside her and just go and a half. Then I'll know how long. Because I really want you to take care of business here without bumping this. So her udders need to be lined here. I could do the head chute coming in off of this, almost a foot, and that'll keep the tray in too. And that just leaves less wind catch overhang. So I think that's what we'll plan on.
So you need the length of her body, including
So from
her head?
her shoulders, so front to back of udders. So front of the shoulders to the back of the udders. Just walk right beside her. I'm thinking you got plenty of room. I mean, I think I went about 8 foot, so we've got plenty of space in here. I wanted you to have more undercover workable.
The height of the widest part of her belly.
Yes, yep. So it's probably going to be like right here. So when I do that, it's probably going to be about where that sucker is.
What's that?
The wider belly. I'm going to put a board on the inside. Just like it's on the bottom, it's coming right here.
Yeah.
And then I have another one on the outside for up top. This one on this side is so that she pushes against it and can't go anywhere. All right, do that. I'm going to burn this. love? What was your measurement? Height, the belly.
This is the best as I could do.
Stood next to her. I figure it's got to be 32 to 34 inches, somewhere in there.
Not her height? No.
The belly height.
29.
Okay.
I measured it back too, but where did it go? 29 inches mid-belly, 53 inches from shoulder to tail. And that's the best I could do on a moving animal.
53?
Yes.
That's nice. Okay. So I can put that tray right inside there. And actually come on up. I can do the head shoot. Her whole head will be up here, and that's the front of her shoulders to her butt.
The best I could, yes.
So see, you still got plenty of room. I think I'm gonna take it back just a little bit too. I'll take it back to there. And that'll give me, that's the front of her shoulder, so this is all her head. So when I make a thing in the front, that's that bucket. That's perfect. Figure it out.
You should have moved again.
No move.
I'd say higher. Because I don't know where her back is in here.
Okay, right there. Mark the bottom of that. Okay. He's okay. We'll see if he acts like any other animal. Don't pay him any attention and see what he does.
He's right behind you.
I know where he is. What?
He's finally gonna listen.
Follow. I'm out of here.
Gotten in enough trouble.
Huh. Okay, Mom. I did it. Don't hit me.
So here it is, friends. This is the completed milking stanchion for our Dexter cows. Now, we chose Dexter cows for a variety of reasons. Dexter cows are a dual purpose breed. So they are, obviously you can milk Dexters, but they're also a beef breed. So we can raise one cow to meet our needs for beef and milk. Now, Dexters are smaller cattle, which is perfectly fine with us as we're empty nesters, so we don't need 20 to 30 gallons of milk a week. Even 5 to 7 gallons may be pushing the limit a bit for us. Now, I'm on some groups online, and typically Dexters give 3/4 to 1.5 gallons of milk a day, and that depends on if you're calf sharing or not. Now, in the beginning, we will be calf sharing, which honestly, calf sharing is kind of a weird term. Shouldn't it be cow sharing? Because Apollo is nursing and I'm milking, so Apollo and I are sharing the cow. We're not really sharing the calf. So I don't know, I don't make these things up, but it does make you ponder where the term came from. Now let's go ahead and take a tour of the milking stanchion so you can see it up close. Since we're milking Dexters, they're not as tall as larger breeds, which meant I was going to be leaning over under my cows trying to milk them. So Philip has built me an elevated stanchion, which is perfect to save my back. You know, I'm not getting any younger. And at 51 years of age, I appreciate that the cow's going to be up a little bit higher so I can reach a little bit better, hopefully a little bit more comfortably. Now with that meant we needed a ramp to allow the cows to go up into the stanchion. Now, most of the wood in this milking stanchion was cut on our sawmill. So that wood was grown right here on Kowalski Mountain, and we're using it to build the things we need here on the farm. Now here on the ramp, Philip has used what's called cant cuts. Now, cant cuts are the first cuts of the log that takes off the rounded pieces of the wood so you can make a square block that you're going to use to cut the lumber. Now, the cant cuts have a rounded side to them, and they're not good for a lot of things. Now, we try to use those cant cuts wherever we can. Now, the ramp needed some type of treads to allow the cows to walk up without slipping. With all the rain and mud that we deal with here in Kentucky, they are going to be walking up this ramp with muddy feet, and we don't want them to slip. Now, the cant cuts created treads naturally without us having to add any extra lumber, and it was a great use of the wood. Now, there is a barrier on the side, and there will be one on this side too. We need to put in another post to put that in, but this is just to keep the cows from falling off the ramp, let them be able to back down without slipping. Now, this is going to be my milking zone where I'm going to spend quite a bit of time milking the cows. Now, this board is temporary. Right now, we're trying to teach the cows to go up into the ramp to where the grain will be. And the grain is right here right now to entice them up the steps. Once they learn that they can go up in here and eat, we will be able to take this board down. For now, the cows have been cheating. They've been trying to reach under this board, which is permanent, to get to the grain. And so this has been put here as a barricade to teach them that the only way to get the grain is to go up the ramp. Now, once we've taught them that they can go up here, the grain won't be here anymore. It's just there for training purposes to get them to come up here to eat. Now, it's really tight up in here. This is the part of the stanchion where the cows are going to put their head. Now, you can see the feed bucket is back here. This side is fixed, and this side slides in And I put in the pin to secure the cow. Now, until we can get a cow in here to determine if this spacing is good, we're not positive. So Philip gave me a few options. I have 3 different choices of widths for my cows. And once my cows get used to it, it probably won't matter if it's a little looser. But for training, we need them to be able to stay. Now, Meg is already nervous that when she's up here and Apollo is out of her sight, that Roxy is over visiting Apollo, which is probably true. Roxy's our dog and she loves babies. But Meg does not want Roxy near Apollo, and so whenever she sees her near him, she takes off out of here. So I need to be able to secure her well. So we'll play with this once we get a cow up in here and we can check the fit. Now, I do have a mat here on the ground in my section to try to keep me out of the mud, and we do want to put a mat up on the stanchion itself just because, you know, poop happens, and the horse mats are a lot easier to clean than that wood. Now, we are also planning to do calf sharing, and once Apollo's 2 weeks old, we're going to start separating him at night. Now, he's going to have the entire corral as a calf pen at night. We still need to put a shelter in here for him. And we're also going to create a small pen here in the corner. We're just going to use a single cattle panel and a 4-foot gate and kind of close that corner off. And when it's time to bring Meg in, Apollo will go into the calf pen so that I can contain him away from her and he doesn't get my milk. And she will be able to see him without any trouble from the milking stand, so she'll know he's safe and nobody's bothering him, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Well, friends, I am super excited to be able to milk my Dexter cows and get to enjoy all the benefits of all the milk we're going to have. We're going to be learning to make yogurt and butter and cheese and clabber and sour cream and cream cheese and Chayev and the ice cream. There's so many things on the list. I can't wait to try it all. And of course, I'll be sure to bring you along. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, hit that button. We'd love you to be a part of the Kowalski Mountain family. As always, I really appreciate you watching, especially to the very end. I hope you've enjoyed watching us build this milking stanchion, and as always, we really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.